Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So now we will refer to complex number. Question 7a, the answer will be 2 plus 36 times by -1, and you will have 2 plus 36 -1, and it will be 2 plus 6i. For question B, we will have 8 plus 3 times -1 equal 8 plus 3 -1, and the answer will be 8 plus 3i. For question C, -2 minus 9 times -1 equal -2 minus 9 -1, and the answer will be -2 minus 3i. And the last one, question D, it will be 7 minus 25 times -1, 7 minus 25 -1, and the answer will be 7 minus 5i. For this question 8, what we'll do is we will divide the index or the power of here with number 4, and we focus on the remainder of it. So for question 8a, when we divide 7 with 4, we have 1 and here 4, and when we minus, we get 3 as remainder. So the answer will be I7 equal I to the power of 3, and the answer is -1. For question B, when we divide 65 with 4, we'll have the remainder of 1. So it can be write as I to the power of 65 equal to I to the power of 1, and it's actually -1. For question C, when we divide 108 with 4, we didn't have the remainder of it. In the other words, your I to the power of 108 will be I to the power of 0, and the answer will be 1. For the next question, question D, when we divide 95 divide by 4, we have here 2, 8, 1, 5, and then we have 3 here, so 12, and we get the remainder of 3. It will be same with the question A. So it will be I to the power of 95 equal to I to the power of 3, and it actually equal to negative 1. Now we focus on question E. 54 divided by 4. So it will be the remainder of 2. So we can write your I to the power of 54 equal to I to the power of 2, and it actually negative 1. And for the last question, when we have 72. 72 also didn't have the remainder of it. So we can write it's likely question C. Your answer will be I to the power of 72 equal to I to the power of 0, and your answer will be 1. Now we focus on question 9. State the complex number Z1, Z2, and Z3, or Z1, Z2, and Z3 in rectangular form. So we have here Z1, Z2, and Z3. So your Z1 will be 7, negative 3i. Z2 will be negative 5 minus 3i. And for the last one, Z3 will be 7 plus 3i. For question 9, it will be referred to the answer of question 8. So your answer for question A will be Z1 is 7 minus 3i plus negative 5 minus 3i, and it can be 7 minus 3i minus 5 minus 3i, 7 minus 5 minus 3i minus 3i, and the answer will be 2 minus 6i. For question B, it will be Z3. So Z3 is 7 plus 3i plus your Z2 is negative 5 minus 3i, and it will be 7 plus 3i minus 5 minus 3i equal 7 minus 5 plus 3i minus 3i, and the answer is 2. And the last one is question C. Z1 minus Z3. So your Z1 is 7 minus 3i minus 7 plus 3i. And it will be 7 minus 3i minus 7 minus 3i equal 7 minus 7 minus 3i minus 3i, and the answer will be negative 6i. For question 9, D, E, F is referred to multiplication and division. So here the answer for question D will be Your Z1 is 7 minus 3i, and Z2 is negative 5 minus 3i. We have to expand these two brackets. So we have now negative 35 minus 21i plus 15i plus 9i squared equal negative 35 minus 6i plus 9 times by negative 1, and it will be negative 35 minus 6i minus 9, and your last answer will be negative 44 minus 6i. For question E, Z3 times by Z2. 7 plus 3i times with negative 5 minus 3i. So here we'll have negative 35 minus 21i minus 15i minus 9i squared. Negative 35 minus 36i minus 9 times by negative 1, and we will have negative 35 minus 36i plus 9, and the answer will be negative 26 minus 36i. Okay, for question 9F, the most important is we understood the concept of conjugate. When we have A plus BI, the conjugate will be A minus BI. So, for this question 9F, it will be like this one. Z1 is 7 minus 3i over Z3 is 7 plus 3i. We have to times with here conjugate of this one. We have 7 minus 3i, and then this one will be follow the denominator. Okay, so right now we have 7 minus 3i, 7 minus 3i over 7 plus 3i, 7 minus 3i, and we expand the bracket. We have 49 minus 21i minus 21i plus 9i squared over 49 minus 21i plus 21i minus 9i squared, and we will have equal 49 minus 42i plus 9 times by negative 1 divided by 49 minus 9 negative 1, and we will have here 49 minus 9 minus 42i over 49 plus 9. So we have 40 minus 42i over 58, and it can be write as 40 over 58 minus 42 over 58 I, and it can be simplified this one. So our last answer will be equal to 20 over 29 minus 21 over 29 I. For question 10, write the following complex number in Argand diagram. So now we have this Argand diagram that can be labeling as A here, and this one will be BI. And then we have -3, -6, so 1, 2, 3, -3 will be here, and -6 will be this one. And for the imaginary part, we have -3i, and then we have 7i. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7i. Okay, for question 1, we have this one, -3 plus 7i. Then we put the arrow here and we label it as -3 plus 7i. And for the second one, question B, we have -6, -3i. So we put the marks of arrow here and we labeling as -6 minus 3i. We may also annotate this one as Z1. So if we have likely Z1 here, we can label it as here will be Z1 only. For the last slide, always give your best and Allah will do the rest. Wish you all the best. Good luck.